What's up, guys? Just going live. Gonna wait for some questions to get in here, or some people to get in here to ask some questions, and then I'll start answering them. I'm gonna do some work in the background until then. What's going on? Fire away. Ask your questions. What do you got? You have any questions I can help with? Anything about running an agency, getting clients, running a Google Ads campaign, how to start, whatever. Fire away if you got anything. If you got any questions, let me know. All right, I'll just dive into something. I just got off a sales call. He'll end up coming on as a client. I'm like 95% in that range of confidence level that he'll come on as a client. Some of the things we talked about were, so he had an understanding of Google Ads. He had never run a Google Ads campaign for his company. He has a Google Ads account. So in that instance, we weren't pushing for an audit. This was more just a kind of a consultative call to see if we could potentially help him. So we talked about what some of his goals were, what he was looking to accomplish with a Google Ads campaign, what he was looking for more of. So what types of clients within his niche. We talked about what I suggested. I asked him, did you have a budget allocated for something like this already, or were you looking for some, general direction on where I thought the budget should be? He opted more towards me giving him that information. So I gave him a range. I suggested somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000, and I relayed that roughly equates to 100 to 200 bucks a day, Monday through Friday. And that $100 a day for his niche and his market was like the minimum viable number I felt comfortable going to market with. We talked about, how the process works to get started. I send over an email. It's got a payment link and a questionnaire. Once we get all that back, we'll be ready to go live in 2 to 4 business days. In there, I'm asking for Google Ads customer ID number, email address to send leads to, phone number, geo-targeting, ad schedule, ad budget, nothing earth-shattering. We talked about our landing page. We talked about how we manage campaigns briefly. I mean, in terms of landing page and how we manage a campaign, I'm talking 60 seconds. This was more of a high-level call, and it was a pretty simple sales call. He was referred over from someone that is a trusted advisor for him. He has been running SEO for him for a while, and so it was not a very difficult sales process. It was pretty simple, and he was a very nice guy. I enjoyed our conversation. And that's it. I relayed what our pricing was, what next steps look like. and sent over the onboarding email. So I expect I'll have that back tomorrow or Monday, and then we'll get rolling on the build out. Pretty simple. What else? Did we do any other sales today? No, that was the only sale today, or I envision it will be a sale. The rest of it has been a lot of busy work today. A lot of emails back and forth with clients and prospective clients, and tired. My son was up very early this morning, so I am very tired today. But yeah. You guys got any questions for me? Anything I can help with? Anything I can answer? If not, I'm going to get out of here. Looking for my next book to read. Just finished up Systemology, which is very good, which is all about building systems within the business to make it more efficient and allow you to hire and grow the business without it, coming off the wheels. You guys have any other questions for me? Anything? Come on, guys. This is my first live without a single question yet. What else can I tell you? We're working on the agency course behind the scenes, and it is it's good. Oh, Paulo, that's why I had to stop talking. Paulo, I have I believe an email from you. Nope, sorry. Nope, wrong Paulo. I do have an email from somebody that was in the live chat that was looking for some mentoring that I've got to get back to. So I will be responding to him. That's Carlos Gonzalez here shortly. Paulo's asking, I have a campaign with keywords that have search, but Google ads don't show. What do you do? So when you say don't show, it could be a couple of things. Where are you bidding wise? And when you say don't show, are you getting impressions? And if you're getting impressions, then we got to figure out what your bidding looks like. If you're getting 0 impressions, then there could be some other issues. But I imagine you're getting impressions, but you're probably bidding too low, and you're not getting any real like top of page impressions. So go through the campaign, and in the columns, select modify columns, or there's a button for columns. Click that, click modify columns. And in that next page, you're going to look for stuff like in the competitive metrics section, you're going to look at search impression share. You're going to look for top of page search impression share. I want to see where you are impression share wise, and look up in the settings if there's anything blocking any actions, any recommendations in there that you may have conflicting keywords or conflicting negative keywords or something like that. 1,000 daily budget, high CPC, still no impressions. How high is the CPC? Andy, I'm new to your channel. Love your content. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Make sure you subscribe. If you have any questions, Andy, just let me know. I'm happy to answer the questions. Jose, is there a limit to how many clients you personally can manage? Yes, definitely, because there's only a certain number of hours in the day. However, I'm just going to throw out a number. This is not the actual number. I'm just going to throw this out there as an example. 100 clients within a single niche is very different than 100 clients in 50 different niches or 25 different niches or 100 different niches. Once you've gotten a lot of clients in one niche, you get a lot of group think, and you're able to do a lot more, and it's way easier to manage lots of clients in one niche, if that makes sense. So not all clients are created equal. Not all 100 clients are created equal. So it's a loaded question without more context. You guys are going to hear me say that a lot. Let's see. Paolo, I have CPC set high. What is high? Are we talking $100 or $200? Give me an idea of what a high CPC is. Thanks, Andy. I appreciate that. Jose, how do you handle not so great client requests such as lowering budgets or extended pauses? Good question. So lowering budgets, it kind of is what it is. We run off of a flat fee model now, so our fee doesn't go down based on how much they're spending. It also doesn't go up based on how much you're spending either. So it cuts both ways. Extended pauses, it depends. So I say to the client, is this going to be like a week pause, or are you expecting the management fee to stop as well? And then if they say, oh, they'll come back next month, that's fine. I get that, no problem. However, we use softwares to manage your campaign that we pay for, and we don't pay for them while you're not under management. So typically, what we'll do is process this as a cancellation, and when you want to come back, we charge $150 to reset everything up. We've got to set up the landing page again. We've got to reconnect all of the integrations and conversions. We've got to reset up reporting. We've got to reset up all of the call tracking and conversion tracking and all that good stuff. So there is work to be done when you reset everything up. But we don't let people pause for extended periods of time unless the management fee is staying in place and they're aware of that. And yeah, hope that helps. Paolo, I set CPC max 5, but the CPC for the keywords are less than 1. It's hard for me on the outside looking in, but if you have $1,000 a day ad budget, I don't know why you're not getting clicks for. Try cranking it up. Try to go higher. And then also, let's see here. Hang on one sec. Let me think about this. You're not getting it. Look through your negative keyword list. Look up. Give me an idea. Do you mind sharing what the niche is? The niche and the market, just so I get an idea. Andy, I have clients in the beauty salon niche, and their budget is very low, about 150, 250. Mainly, they wanted to show on Maps listing. What do you recommend? I do smart campaign for them. Yeah, you could potentially do a smart campaign for them. Smart campaign, the traffic's going to be iffy. It's not really good traffic typically, but you can get some Maps access. You could also do retargeting. So depending on how much traffic they're getting already, you could set up Google retargeting or Facebook retargeting. But your list size is going to need to be pretty good for it to be retargeting for Google. So I'd probably recommend Facebook retargeting. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But the nice thing about beauty salons and those services in general is the click cost isn't that high. So, you're a couple bucks a click typically. So, what is that? Let's take a look. $150 divided by 20. $750 a day. That is pretty low. So $750 to $250 divided by 20. Yeah, I mean, that's on the lower end, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. So you got to do the best you can with what you got. Keep in mind, not all clients are good clients. Not that they're not good people, just that makes sense for paid management. Andy, now take this with a grain of salt. If you're also doing SEO for them and you're also doing Facebook ads and web design and other stuff, then I can understand taking in smaller clients as part of an overall package. But as a standalone service, it's going to be rough. But yeah. Paolo, no negative keywords in the way. Niches, cleaning house and office. I don't know what the issue is. If you want, we can do an audit for you. If you shoot us an email, charge $150 for a paid audit. We could take a look at it and see if we might be able to help you. It's hard for me on the outside looking in without more context. Nathaniel, starting your direct mail campaign here. Thanks for the great course. How much direct mail do you send out in a week? Do you follow up with cold calls? That's awesome. Thank you very much. I'm glad to hear that, Nathaniel. It depends. When we were starting out, it would be like 500. It was basically what we could afford when we were first starting. Now we'll do it in batches of like 2,000 or 3,000. And then what you'll find is you'll get dripped in leads like for a month from something like that. And then we just follow up on them. Yes, if you want a cold call behind it, it's going to be more effective. Keep in mind that I wouldn't you could reference the letter, but sometimes referencing a letter, like saying, hey, I'm calling about a letter I sent you, did you get it? Gives them an easy way to say no and get off the phone. So it might be a better thing might be like, I'm calling a follow up on, a letter that we had sent, and then kind of roll into what your cold call pitch is, go in that route. One of the books I recommend in the course, the Selling to Veto. Veto stands for very important top officer. It's an awesome book on sales and using direct mail to get sales. His approach is very different because he's selling into, into the C-suite and selling into bigger clients. You can use like a hybrid approach off of that. Doesn't need to be exact, but just keep in mind that if you're calling and saying, and you're hoping that they saw that piece of direct mail and you're holding on that, it's an easy brush off for them. So be prepared with a rebuttal handling for that. Young Hustler, what's the best way to close PPC clients through cold calling? On our channel, there is a handful of videos I did with Reggie from my team who was doing all of our cold calling. Reggie's left, and he's an entrepreneur by heart and by calling. So he went out and started a couple of businesses. But if you go through those videos, it's us role playing back and forth, us talking about the benefit of cold calling, how we do it, how our approach is. And I'm actually bringing Reggie back in to do the cold calling course with me. So when we're done with that, we'll put that out. But yeah, you can definitely get clients with cold calling. When we first started, it was cold calling and direct mail. We've had this agency for a while. We started another agency in a brand new niche, and we had nobody knew us in the market. And in order for us to penetrate that market, we did cold calling and direct mail. So you either have the luxury of having inbound leads coming in, or you don't. And if you don't, you've got to do something to get your name out in the market and to penetrate that market. And for us, it's been cold calling and direct mail. So, Young Hustler, yes, you definitely can get clients through cold calling. Andy, when I type the keyword in, they don't always show up. Yeah, so that could be a handful of reasons why. Number one, if you are the one managing it or own the account and you're actually searching yourself, at a certain point, Google's going to realize it's you and they're going to stop serving ads to you. That's number one. Number two, stop searching for your own ads, or have your clients stop searching for their own ads, because if they search for something and they see it and they don't click on it, that lowers your click-through rate and hurts your campaign. And at a certain point, Google's going to realize it's you and then just stop serving the ads in general. So use the ad preview tool to get a better idea. All right. Let me keep going on that, Andy. A couple other things. So you type the keyword and it doesn't show up. You're never going to get 100% of the searches. Your ads will never show 100% of the time. That's number one. That's actually number three. Number four, it has to do with what you're bidding. It has to do with what your daily budget is, and it has to do with where your impression share is. You likely don't have the budget to be there every single time. Nathaniel, thanks. I bought all those books you recommended in the course. Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Nathaniel, if you want to shoot us a testimonial video for the course, I'd really appreciate that. I think after you start sending out direct mail and you start getting clients with it, I think that if you want to move up a tier and start going after larger clients, I think the book by Stu Heinecke that we talked about in the course is going to be real eye-opening for you. That dude's awesome. I've talked to him a couple of times before, and he's a very creative guy, and he's got a very sharp mind for marketing and lead gen. Young Hustler, how long does a typical PPC client stay with you on average? Is it sustainable? Depending on if it's white label or if it's a retail lead for us, long periods of time. White label, probably 6 to 9 months, somewhere in that range. And on retail, probably closer to a year plus. It just depends. Depends on how it was sold. Depends on the condition of the business. Like, are they a well-run business or are they more startup? Depends on if they sell well. Any company that sells well and has good internal processes for sales is going to be a way easier client to deal with, and it makes your life a lot easier. If you're someone's hope and a dream and last prayer, they tend to be nightmare clients. And is it sustainable? Yes. We've been in business since 2015 as this company, doing this. And this is all we offer is Google Ads. So yes, I think it's sustainable. Nathaniel, what expectations do you set for a client prior to ads? It can take a few months down the campaign. Yeah, so that's a great question. We have a video on the channel called Selling Google Ads, Setting Expectations. I'd watch that video to walk through it, because that's going to go more in depth than I can go right now. But basically, I talk about the golden rule of your ad budget. So click cost to daily budget, that ratio being very important. We're not going to know the true click cost until we're live in market. So, that ratio is in flux and fluid until we know. We talk about Google Ads not being a set it and forget it magic bullet right out of the gate, that this is going to take a bit of time to ramp up. But typically clients are doing well enough in that first month that they're wanting to stick around moving forward. But, I don't say you're going to get this many clicks and this many leads and bring in this much revenue, because I don't know. I don't do that type of sales. I never have. And I don't really recommend it for this, because there's too much in flux. They're live markets, and they're going to ebb and flow, and they're going to go up and down, and they're going to change. And just like a stock market price, a stock is really hot and then it dumps. Here, you're going to have a bunch of people enter a market and then a bunch will leave, and then it varies. So what we do is we put our best foot forward, knowing our best practices and success we've had in this market in other cities, or this industry in other cities, or whatever it is. And that's how we do it. And that's how we've always done it. And that's how we're going to keep doing it. Now, if you've audited the campaign, it makes it even easier, because then you can show them stats based off of where they were at prior, and it makes it a lot easier. Andy, you're welcome. Thank you very much. You guys have any other questions for me? I didn't mail this one out. I didn't know how long I'd last today. I'm really tired today. So I got a handful of you in here in the room. What other questions for me? Nathaniel, is there a particular niche that you're targeting, and a price point that you're offering at? And you're offering any other services? Sorry, I'm just replying to a client email. So here's one thing. Documenting your answers. Okay. You're going to find that everybody's got the same questions. You're going to find that the way you audit something, everyone's going to have the same mistakes. So document how you do your audits, document the answers you give in the audits. When clients ask you questions, document those questions and write down potential answers. So you have it all documented. Like I've got a sheet here that I keep open on my desktop or on my computer screen. And it's basically a giant FAQ of things that I'll get, and I can just pop in there so that I have the same answers to the same questions over and over again, and it's standard, and it is what it is. Like, now, if it's something specific where a client asks something specific, I'll go in and give a specific answer. But if it's standard stuff like, hey, what's your pricing? I send over a simple email, and it says, here's our white label pricing guide and video training playlist. Here's a link, here's a link, here's a link. Let me know if you have any questions I can help with. If you'd like to chat, here's a link to my calendar. Please grab a time that works for you. Simple stuff like that goes a long way in saving you time as you take on more and more clients. Like, this is the kind of stuff we'll teach in the agency course that we're putting out. It's like little things that we've picked up over the years on things like areas we can systemize, areas where if I just document this, it'll make my life way easier, appropriate ways to answer questions that clients might have, things like that. Hope that helps. It just struck me because the client asked a question and I had a documented answer for it. Nathaniel, awesome. Thank you very much. Andy, do you offer paid advice or consultation or something? We do. We charge $350 for an hour of consulting. We've got the courses. The hour of consulting could either be with myself or it could be with Rob more on the technical side of things. So it's up to you. My story is like Nathaniel writes, my story is like Josh Nelson's failing web design biz, trying to move into Google PPC. Okay, awesome. Shopping ads. So I'm not your guy for shopping ads. We really stuck with specializing within Google Ads for lead generation. Shopping ads and shopping in general is a different beast. A lot of it because you can't control where the traffic's going to and having that much effect on conversion rates. That's always been a sticking point for us. And it's a different skill set. And there's different layers of campaigns that you'd use and retargeting and whatnot. So we're not crazy about it. For us, it's just way too much work for what we charge. And it gets hard for us, man hours versus profit margin. So we're not crazy about it. So as you're going, Nathaniel, figure out if you really love the shopping ads and are good at it, then that's different. But if you want like a simple, scalable, repeatable business, I would stick with the lead generation side of things. Pick a niche. If you haven't yet read Josh Nelson's book, read his book. It's awesome. And yeah, hope that helps. Andy, I'd love to get in touch with you with more advice. Yeah, that's awesome. Shoot me an email. Happy to set up a consultation with you. And then also part of the agency course that we're putting out, it'll be one price and then we'll offer another price with some consulting time on the back end of it. We're also kind of mulling around the idea of a kind of a membership area where people can add like kind of a board, if you will. I don't want it to be a Facebook group because I don't like Facebook. I probably because I spend too much time on it, but I don't want to put a group there. God forbid something happens and the group is gone. So I'm kind of we're mulling around the idea of a monthly membership area where we package all of the courses directly inside there. I don't know what that price point would be, $150 a month, something like that. I don't know. Working on it. And that'd be a cheaper way to answer questions. I'm not exactly sure if we'll do it yet though. Jose, what do you use for client communications? Email and phone. And email, majority email. Most of what we want is email because we like it documented. And then if we needed to, we'll hop on calls and do that. But for us, we're not, we're only offering Google ads. So we're not offering SEO and web design and Facebook ads. So it's not like an account manager is getting on and going like piece by piece each month. They're getting weekly reports from us already. And it's typically, if we hop on a call, there's an issue or it's a strategy call to figure out where else we can expand it, things like that. It's not like hey, this is what we did this week. Here's what you got, this kind of thing, because they're getting that reporting that goes out automated each week. And that's just how we do it. Paolo, how is business in the U.S. now? Are they hiring PPC digital marketing? Here in Europe, everything is on lockdown, closed because of COVID. Yeah, so as of right now, business is good. I'm not in the restaurant space, and that industry got absolutely demolished in COVID time. Janitorial services that work within offices, restaurants, commercial brokerages like commercial real estate brokers, the hospitality industry, hotels, travel, things like that, they got smashed. They're not doing very well. But for what we do, the businesses have adapted as they've needed to. They'll wear, gloves and masks and, foot coverings going into people's houses and things like that. Um, for us, most of what we do is local lead generation. So a plumber, a roofer, a doctor, a lawyer, those kind of things that people need. And yeah, so, I mean, we've seen contraction in certain things in certain industries and then expansion in others. Um, I mean, overall, it's been a stressful year, but we ended up having our best year to date in all of this, which is odd because we didn't think that was going to be the case. Come March, everything just started shitting the bed, and it got scary there for a bit, and then kind of ramped up and ramped up through the summer, and then finished the year strong. We ended up finishing 40 new clients in November and in December. And typically December is one of our slower months where, just slower. And then come January, most people are swinging, coming out of the gate, spending money. So we've been fortunate, Paolo. I hear you, man. COVID stuff's been hectic everywhere, but I'm very, very thankful. I do not own a restaurant right now, and I do not have massive overhead and leases and things like that I've got to worry about. So my heart breaks for those guys or guys and girls that put their money out there and just got crushed. It is heartbreaking. Sorry, I went on a little rant there. Andy, please email me. Yep, I will shoot you a message. Let me just grab your email real quick and I'll shoot you a message. All right. Andy, I'll send that out to you shortly. Son of the King. Is it better to do freelancing or cold calling direct mail when initially starting out in PPC? Is it better to do freelancing or cold calling direct mail when originally starting out? Well, freelancing and agencies are very, very similar. You basically still have to go out into market and sell your services. So you're going to need to get clients either way. Just getting started, going to agencies is probably going to be the fastest. Working internally at an agency or in a freelance setting for an agency, that's probably going to be your fastest way. But if you're going to go that route, know what you're doing before you go in there, because it's going to be evident if you don't. And if you're looking to take on clients and expand, cold calling and direct mail is an efficient route to get freelancing clients, just like it is agency clients. The difference between agency and freelancing, it's not much. There's tons of one-man band agencies out there. I tend to think the difference between agency and freelancer in that an agency will have a lot of the infrastructure in-house or they have it, is what I'm trying to get at. So they'll have call tracking. So they'll use CallRail. They'll have Instapage or Unbounce. They'll have Swidoo or Google Data Studio or Agency Analytics for reporting. They'll have an MCC account. MCC account's free. They'll have that kind of stuff. Whereas a freelancer might just plug into someone else's existing infrastructure and do the work there. That's kind of my difference between the two. So it's not a big jump. For a couple $100 a month, you could have an agency. If you think about it, it's more of a mindset than anything else. I hope that helps. I wasn't really clear on the question. Mohammed, hey, what's your campaign structure with location targeting? Do you have separate campaigns for each city? No, we don't. So we will do one campaign with all the geo-targeting in one, unless there's an instance where there's two campaigns. Let's say there's two offices, there's two dental offices in the same, the company owns two dental offices and each location needs to spend $1,000 a month. In that instance, it would be two separate campaigns, their own budget, their own geo-targeting. But more often than not, it's all typically within one budget, unless there was a reason why there had to be two. Hope that helps. Sky's the limit. Does ClickSkeek do PPC for ecom? We do not. We'd run away from e-commerce. We specialize in lead generation, so we specialize in making the phone ring for business. If you do need e-commerce, give me a sec here. I am pinning our website up here in the top, and then if you need e-commerce help, check out Mark Kelly over at inboundrevenue.com. He can help you out with e-commerce stuff. He also does white label as well. So if you need that, go there. If you need lead generation, I can help. Mohammed, how do you subscriber to your mailing list so I can get notified when going live? If you go two ways, if you go onto YouTube, if you subscribe to the channel, once you subscribe to the channel, if you hit the bell button right to the side of it, you'll get email notifications when we put out new videos. And then also, Mohammed, if you go to our website and go to the white label PPC page and request pricing, that will drop you onto an email list. And that's the email list that we mail out when we do these videos. Why do you run from ecom? Good question. So when we run Google ad campaigns, you've got three things that you can control, your three levers, if you will. You've got the keywords that you're selecting. It's the ad copy that you're writing. So are you writing well enough to elicit the click? And then last is the landing page where you're getting that traffic to convert. With an e-commerce campaign, we often lack the ability to control that landing page or that sales page. And what we found is that's a big piece of the pie. And what I found is a lot of e-commerce companies have no traffic going to their site. They've got no real sales experience on the actual page itself, and they want you to fix the business. And there's a lot more that goes into it than that. And what we found is that it just wasn't worth our time. Like, you've only a certain amount of hours per day and per week. And if I've got to spend more hours managing an e-com campaign than I do a lead gen campaign, it's less profitable. So why not just stick with what's more profitable for us? And that's what we do. Andy, I went to your site. Awesome, man. MPA. Oh, nice. So I'm in North Carolina. Rob is in Percy. He's up in Bucks County. So I'm assuming maybe you're in Bucks County. Where are you in PA? Oh, nice. So other side. Yeah. I've been to King of Prussia many times. And got a buddy that lives in Conshohocken. So I've had many a late night in Conshohocken. Absolutely, Stephen. What else you got? Any other questions? Sorry, just replying to a client. Nathaniel, do you guys get anything with Google Analytics at all, reporting wise? We used to. We don't anymore. Everything we need is within the Google Ads dashboard itself. All the conversion tracking that you need is going to be set up there. Keep in mind, we're not running to clients-made websites, and that's one of the reasons we can have all the analytics in the Google Ads dash, integrating CallRail for third-party call tracking. Mohammed, what advice regarding new leads would you give clients to make the most out of their conversions? Actually answer the phone. Not answering the phone is a huge problem for business in general, but definitely local business. They just don't answer the phone and they don't call people back. So, explain to them that, that's money they just threw in the garbage is a big thing. And the other thing we really like is, with their permission, we record calls, and they'll get email notifications in real time of those calls. And what they find is people at the front desk aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. So it's eye-opening for them to see that their front office person is not doing a good job at the front office, and it's typically eye-opening because that's a big piece of it. The percentage of your leads that you convert into deals or convert into appointments is a big piece of the pie. And if they can get good at answering calls and qualifying the call and setting the appointment and making sure people show up for the appointment, it's, I don't want to say half the battle, but it's a big piece of it. Nathaniel, just Google Ads. Yep. So Google Ads and CallRail is what we report in. So it all pulls into the Google Ads dash, and then CallRail, we just set them up with a CallRail sub account. So it's like a repository of all of the phone call recordings and form submissions, because we can pull that data into CallRail as well. And then they get reporting Monday mornings as well. That's a manual, not a manual. That's a PDF report that they're getting, and that's from the Google Ads dash, and that's through Swido or Swido. Andy, yeah, just email me. Awesome. Sounds good. See you later. Jose, what are some of your goals for this year with regards to business? Hire more account managers, increase client list, add additional marketing services? Yeah, so we want to bring in a new full-time salesperson, and then bring in a new full-time manager. Those are the big goals for the year. And then layer in a I don't want to say operations director or operations manager towards the end of the year going into next year. That's the big goal. And that all comes down to more systemizing everything that we do. Systemology. And then, Jose, you asked additional marketing services. At this time, no. We're going to stick with just Google Ads for the time being. We may expand into SEO at some point, but for right now, we want to scale up just on Google Ads and courses. So things, people that want our services or can't afford it under management, or for whatever reason just want to learn it, they buy our Google Ads course. Our landing page course is selling well. Our direct mail course is selling pretty well out of the gate. And I think we'll do well with the agency course that we're putting out as well. So those are nice to have. Those are not main revenue sources for us. Our main revenue source is client. AG, do you give client AdWords reports, or how often do you contact business owner? So they get reports every Monday morning from us, and those are emailed over. I think it's like 8:00 in the morning on Mondays, and they're benchmark reports, doing week over week, and then they also get a monthly recap report as well. And then they'll get any emails. We'll communicate over that, and then if they need a scheduled call, we'll hop on a call. But we do not set up like monthly calls to go over stuff with clients. If we were offering SEO and Facebook ads and web design and everything else, like a full suite agency, we likely would. But what we found is the weekly reporting to be sufficient for what we're doing. Paolo, you pay for CallRail. Yeah, we pay for CallRail. That we do that. We bundle that as part of our services. So it's just a cost of us doing business. We pay a couple of grand a month for CallRail with all the clients, but it's a vital piece of the puzzle. Being able to track back to the keyword that drove the lead is a vital piece to this. It's not enough to know that a campaign call happened at a campaign level. I need to know specifically what keyword drove it. And then more importantly, it allows us to record the call if we want to. And either way, it'll send the client an email notification in real time saying a call just took place. If we record it, there's the recording. If not, it'll just give the call data. So it's a reinforcing thing as well. So like, yes, we may not be calling them and doing monthly account management calls. They're getting a lot of emails from us. All the form submission emails, all the call recording emails coming across. They're getting the weekly reports, so they know that we're there. They know work is being done. So there's that piece of it. I don't know. It just dawned on me now. I never even realized that they are getting way more emails than that. They're getting all of the actual form emails, the recording emails, all that stuff. I don't know why that didn't dawn on me earlier. Raul, welcome back. What do you think on a broad picture that which option can make more money, SEO or Google Ads? So an SEO agency or a Google Ads agency can make a shitload of money. It's literally sky's the limit. What could the company make more money on? Either, and they can make a ton of money on both. The better value proposition is probably, well, here's the thing. They're different. So if you need speed and you want reach, Google Ads. If you want to sink money in over and over again for an extended period of time before you start yielding a return from it, SEO. However, once you are getting your return, it is way more profitable SEO-wise than it is Google Ads-wise, because Google Ads, you're cutting line, you're paying for that acquisition, whereas with SEO, you've got a sunk cost that you've got to hope and pray actually works, unless you're very good at it. No, it's, most people say they're good at it, but are not, whatever. If you're good at it, your acquisition cost is going to melt away and it's going to be super profitable, and you're likely going to get way more traffic with SEO, but it's just a mid to long-term solution. So I like them both. I like both sides of things. I'm a big proponent of SEO. I just don't like, I like selling it. I just don't like fulfillment of it. So I hope that helps. Steven, how do you handle clients who constantly email and call for favors? Do you put support prices up front? Depends on the favor. If it's standard stuff, then we just do it. But if they're asking for stuff outside of our scope of work, then we would say we wouldn't do that, or we don't handle that and refer them somewhere else, or it just depends. Depends on what exactly they'd be asking for. Mohammed, what do you put on the thank you pages for landing pages? Maybe video of a client telling customer. Yeah. So yes, that would be awesome. Putting a video there. Video testimonials. It could be a redirect back to the client's website. It could be video saying, here's what's going to happen next. It could be video testimonials. It could be any number of things. The beauty is the lead is actually acquired at that point, so it's not going to affect conversion rate. And anything additional you do, it will likely bolster a connection rate response between the lead being a lead versus actually getting on the phone with them. So yeah, if you can get clients to do that, I think that's a good thing. Yeah. Yep. I agree, Mohammed. I like that idea. M&M or MM. I'm looking to start a marketing agency within the next week, looking for niches currently. What niches do you think is best to start climbing? Okay. So when you say marketing agencies, are you just talking Google Ads? Are you talking Google Ads, SEO, SMA/Facebook ads? MM, give me more context as to what you're starting. Because if it's Google Ads, just go to our YouTube channel and type in niches. And we've got 2 or 3 videos on niche selection, niches to target, niches to avoid, our favorite niches. Here, I'll drop this in here. This actually has the videos on it. Give me a sec. Steven, have you noticed Google acting strange since pandemic? Do you think they're trying to get rid of consultants, and do you think they'll succeed if they are? Probably. I mean, I would imagine they're trying to get rid of us, but at the same time, there is a fox in the hen house style dilemma there, where their goals and our goals and clients' goals are not really in alignment. They want you to spend more in revenue. We want you to be as efficient with the revenue or with their ad budget as possible. So I think there'll always be a place for us in there because of the misalignment of goals, as neatly and nicely as and politically correct as I can say that. Steven, apparently Google travel was their biggest revenue sector, and that's being decimated. So now they're really trying to squeeze it. Yeah, I would imagine that they're getting crushed. Not too concerned. Yeah, I'm not. Have you dealt with any Google reps? I'll leave that at that. Raul, what book do you recommend for more knowledge about Google Ads and in-depth technical aspect? Also tips on tips. Google Ad book? I don't know. Maybe Perry Marshall's book, but that's old. I'm not a big book on Google ad side of things. I am for more like business and sales related stuff. So I would say YouTube, YouTube University. Just go onto YouTube and start typing in Google ad tutorials, optimization tutorials, that kind of stuff, and go that route. Our channel's literally got like, I don't know, 400 videos, all Google ads related stuff and agency related stuff. I'd start there. And then of course we got our Google ads course. If you wanted to make that purchase, that's awesome too. Google ads, Facebook agency. Awesome. So yeah, I'd say check out the link above but keep in mind, those are really meant for Google ads. Facebook ads do better with other niches. So for that, I would say go look up best Facebook ads niches and kind of cross-reference the two, if you will. You've been looking at real estate and don't know if it's a viable niche. It is, and it's very competitive, depending on if you're talking about real estate investors or like local real estate agents. It's a pricey niche. It's very competitive, but it's an enormous market. No, I think it's viable. My bigger concern with real estate market is more just the propping up of it right now. With Google, with the government blocking, basically mortgage stays in place or moratoriums on foreclosures and non-payments and things like that. The real estate investor is getting squeezed hard right now. So I don't know. At some point, something's got to give because these numbers just don't add up. So that would be my bigger concern. But as far as like Zillow or Trulia and being scared of those guys, I wouldn't be that scared of them because if they had such big market recognition, people go direct to them as opposed to going to Google searching for the stuff. And the evidence shows that there's plenty of search still. So take it for what it's worth. No company is ever going to have 100% of the market share in a search result. And if they, my thing is always like, let me go back. I get this question a lot because one niche that we're in, there's a bunch of franchises, and a local client will say, what am I going to do because these franchises have such dominant market position and they're doing so well? My answer is, if that was the case, there wouldn't be people on Google looking for a plumber in XYZ or a junk removal business in XYZ. They'd go direct to those companies. But the evidence shows that there's plenty of people searching for these things per month and that don't go to them. So they don't have that market penetration like people assume that they have. Hope that helps. I said real estate, but I meant to say lawyers. I think lawyers still a very good niche. I would say for lawyers, I'd say Google ads over Facebook. That's just my take on it though. Any pain niche, plumbing, roofing, lawyers, anything where someone needs somebody quickly or needs something, I'd say Google ads. When someone wants something, I'd say Facebook's a good option for that. Steven, the reps are brutal. All right. Yeah, I get it, man. I can't talk shit, but I think we're on the same page. Just going to answer an email real quick. You guys got anything else for me? I know your channel, Raul writes, I know your channel is given a hell of a lot of value, bro, and thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You'd request that you make more videos like that for real estate or crane. Yeah, we're going to put out some videos for real estate here soon. We've got a lot of clients in the real estate investor space. So we will we'll make some videos for that. Crane, I have not done a video. I have not run a campaign for a crane specifically. We've done heavy equipment rental, which would kind of fall within that crane space because they may be the same type of company, meaning like a crane company may also lease or rent heavy equipment, but not all heavy equipment companies lease cranes. Haven't worked in that space. I'd imagine it's pretty straightforward, though. I don't think it'll be too competitive. There's only a certain number of people in the market that have cranes, but I will bet there's search volume for it, and I bet that client value is enormous. NMR. This might be a dumb question, but in my opinion, would you say the absolute best way to learn Google Ad search is to do it every day, hands-on? Yeah, I'd say yes, but go through the certification process first, learn in their library, learn the way they want you to learn it so you can get your certification. And then from there, go into YouTube University, aka go to YouTube and search in Google Ads tutorial, Google Ads optimization checklist, things like that, where companies or guys like us are showing real campaigns and what the data looks like and how to optimize those videos. That's going to cut your learning curve by a lot, because then you're seeing how it actually works. There's like the idea of racing a car, and then there's the actually being in a race car going around the track. So two different things. Seeing it live is going to be way more impactful, in my opinion. And I would do that and get comfortable with that first before going and managing it for someone else. Just because, you're managing their ad budget, their hard-earned dollars. So I would be respectful of that and make sure you're comfortable with it first. So, and then, yes, I believe that learning hands-on is definitely impactful. I would try to, if you can, if you're nervous about it first, I would say go mentor under somebody or get hired as like a junior level person first at a company that does it really well, and learn the craft there. And then, in the background, learning sales, in your own time after hours, learning sales, getting comfortable with selling, reading a book I always recommend, Claude Whitaker's Selling Local Advertising, is going to be important. Getting comfortable talking with people. MM, really appreciate your advice. Awesome. You're welcome. I'm wondering if the market for lawyers right now is good for selling advertising. Or are you worried? Yes. Actually, the guy I just started the video with, the sales call that I did, is a family attorney, a divorce lawyer. So yes, we've got lots of lawyers. It's a very good market for Google Ads. MM, okay. Yep. NMR. Has the new restrictions on seeing search terms hurt your campaigns anyway? Yeah. So what NMR is saying is they put a thing where in the search term report, you're no longer able to see the specific keyword, the actual keyword, not the keyword you selected, but the actual keyword typed into Google isn't showing anymore. So where that's going to affect you is in phrase match. All right. It's gonna drive a lot of branded traffic for other companies. Let's say roofing company Denver, that you've got Pat's Roofing Company, Jim's Roofing Company, all of them using roofing company or roof repair or roofing contractor in their brand term, but they're all modified by whatever that main modifying noun is. So Jim's, Bob's, Dan's. So that's the kind of stuff that you're not going to see in the search term report. So it's going to look like some skewed data. What I'd recommend is go through Google Maps and do roof company Denver and build out a root term negative list that you could apply to the campaign. So write all of the roofing companies, put the main modifying term. You don't need to put every single word. You just find it's Apex, it's Jim's, it's Dan's, it's high quality, it's whatever the root of it is. Put that in the negative list, and that's going to help eliminate some of that issue. All right, guys, 5 more minutes and I got to go grab my kid. So we are on Raul. Raul, can you explain the new policies updated about Google Ads is working? Yep, I just did that. Mark Farmer, what advice can you give someone looking for paid search marketing position? I kind of just went through that a few minutes ago about getting really comfortable. So go into the get your certification, go through how they want you to learn it, go through all of the study courses back there, get your Google Ads search certification, and then go to YouTube University or grab some courses on how to properly build and manage campaigns and get comfortable with how things work behind the scenes, watch people managing campaigns on YouTube, and get comfortable with it. And then once you're comfortable with it, start looking for a job. And once you're there, what I would recommend is ask to audit one of their campaigns and run through an audit. If you go on our channel, just search for the word audit, and there's an audit checklist on there. And that's the stuff you're going to want to audit. And then once you audit it, you've showed that you've got expertise, and you showed that that's how you would recommend they fix what's wrong. Mohammed, I see in your videos that most of your campaigns are set to auto bidding strategies. Do you start with manual? Yes, it depends. We do a lot of the AI bidding strategies, but we also like manual in some cases. And some of the AI strategies, you need a couple weeks worth of data and a certain number of conversions in the account for it to actually start becoming an effective strategy. If not, it'll choke the campaign. So a mixture. Also depends on how much volume we're going to be getting through, how many clicks we're going to be getting through the campaign. So it's a mixture of them. Paolo, Ed, there's a lot of marketing people saying that plumbers and electricians have a lot of work. Is a bad niche and they don't need more work. I hear you. However, we just launched a new electrician yesterday and a new HVAC and electrician company last week, and 15 plumbing companies in December. So you got to realize that this is a market, and things are always going to be changing, ebbing and flowing. New people are going to enter the market. Market's going to leave. It's going to dry up. It'll get very busy. There's a season here, and I don't mean seasonality. I mean more like a season of change. And I tend to be a glass half full type of guy, and not an opportunist, but a person that sees opportunity. And I'm not of the belief that that they're too busy, and if they were too busy, they wouldn't be marketing. But if that was the case, you wouldn't see Google ads there, right? If you search for their market and search for their whatever they do, you wouldn't see Google ads there. So I respectfully disagree with that in the nicest way possible. All right, 2 more questions, then I got to go. What would you say is an essential in ensuring results? What is essential for ensuring results for lawyers? Leads. Make sure they actually answer their phone calls, and run a campaign that has a good conversion rate and gets good traffic. And it's pretty straightforward. So pretty simple to run. I'm pretty sure we've got examples of lawyer campaigns on the channel. Yeah. All right, guys. One more question, then I got to go. I got to pick up my kids. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. NMR, what's your name? All right, guys. I'm going to go. I hope you enjoyed it today. If you guys if you want to subscribe, I don't have a subscribe. What's up, Mark? Paolo, awesome. You're welcome. I don't have a page set up for opting in just for this kind of stuff. We'll set that up eventually. But if you just go to our website and go to the white label page and request the pricing, I won't call you, but that'll drop you onto the email list. And you'll also see what our pricing looks like and how we'll market to you guys. And you'll see what that looks like. And you'll get an email notification next time we drop one of these. All right. Have a great rest of your day. And who knows, maybe I'll do one of these tomorrow. All right. See you guys. Have a great day.